Right, we need to talk about something devastating and the appalling way the American government is communicating about this war. 6 US service members are dead, a Gold Star daughter is speaking out against disgraceful White House war memes, and the disconnect between the reality of war and how it is being marketed is sickening. The US military says all 6 service members aboard an American refueling aircraft were killed when it crashed in Iraq on Thursday. The US claims the incident was not due to hostile fire, but an Iranian proxy group has claimed responsibility. At least 13 US troops have now been killed in connection with the Iran war. And disturbingly, grotesquely, the White House continues using Hollywood-style memes and video game clips to promote this war while Gold Star families beg them to stop. Alison Spann, daughter of the first American killed in Afghanistan, said the White House's continued use of memes to promote the Iran war is really gross stuff. She posted, "Spend an afternoon with a Gold Star child or an operator who lost 24 friends in combat and watch how fast the war memes stop being funny." Her father, Johnny Micheal Spann, was a CIA officer killed during a Taliban prison in November 2001. The first of nearly 2,500 Americans killed over 20 years in Afghanistan. And now his daughter watches the White House, Pentagon, and US Central Command use Hollywood vignettes, memes, and video games to promote war in Iran. One video uses Wii game clips showing cartoon characters playing golf and boxing, interspersed with Iranian targets being hit, calling the strikes a hole-in-one. While preliminary assessments suggest the US likely struck a primary school in Iran, killing scores of people, many of them children, let's start with the plane crash because 6 Americans are dead and their families deserve better than being a footnote. All 6 crew members aboard an American refueling aircraft were killed when it crashed in Iraq. These are people who volunteered to serve. People with families, loved ones, futures cut short. The US says the incident was due to hostile fire, but an Iranian proxy group claimed responsibility for shooting it down. Conflicting accounts. We don't know the truth yet, but 6 Americans are dead, bringing total US service member deaths to at least 13. 13 American troops killed. 13 families destroyed, 13 funerals, 13 Gold Star families. And how is the White House communicating about this war? With memes, with video game clips, with Hollywood propaganda calling airstrikes a hole-in-one. Defense Secretary Hegseth said Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has been likely disfigured, casting doubt on his first message. If true, the strike that killed his father may have severely injured Mojtaba. It raises questions about whether he can lead and suggests Iran's propaganda about him being unharmed may be false. But it also raises moral questions. The US and Israel killed one supreme leader and possibly disfigured his successor. Is that legitimate targeting or assassination? A strike killed at least one person in Tehran where explosions were reported near large crowds, marking Al-Quds Day, an annual solidarity event with Palestinians. Large crowds gather for this significant political occasion and explosions happen near them. Was this deliberate targeting of civilians, collateral damage? At least one person is dead and crowds were in danger. Fresh strikes continue across the region. Iran keeps firing missiles despite devastating punishment. Hegseth waved off Iran's actions in the Strait of Hormuz, saying there is no need to worry about it. No need to worry. Iran's leader just vowed straight blockage. Must continue. Oil terminals closing. Brent crude hit $100. But don't worry. That is dangerously dismissive. Trump said he'll know the war is over when he feels it in my bones. Not when objectives are achieved. Not when Iran surrenders, when he feels it. That is not strategy. That is gut feeling, replacing war planning. But what is truly sickening is the White House social media strategy. Official government accounts are using Hollywood-style vignettes incorporating memes and video games to promote war. The video that prompted Alison Spann's response uses Wii video game clips, cartoon characters playing golf and boxing, interspersed with actual footage of Iranian targets being hit, real explosions, real destruction, real people dying cut with cartoon characters calling strikes a hole-in-one like it is a game, like it is entertainment, like people aren't dying. And here is what makes it grotesque. These glib videos come as preliminary assessments suggest the US likely struck a primary school during initial airstrikes in Iran, killing scores including children. A school, children dead, and the White House is posting memes calling airstrikes. Hole in one. Alison Spann said, spend an afternoon with a Gold Star child or an operator who lost 24 friends in combat and watch how fast the war memes stop being fine. Her father was the first American killed in Afghanistan, CIA officer. Former Marine, killed in 2001 at age 32. He died serving his country. Now, 24 years later, his daughter watches another administration treat war like marketing, like entertainment, like a joke. Really gross stuff, she called it, and she is absolutely right. It is gross. It is disrespectful to service members who die. It is disrespectful to Gold Star families. It is disrespectful to Iranians being killed. It is disrespectful to the seriousness of war itself. War is not a video game. Airstrikes are not holes in one. Dead children are not content for memes. Here is the bottom line. 6 US service members killed in Iraq, bringing total American deaths to at least 13. Hegseth says Iran's leader likely disfigured. Strike in Tehran kills at least one near Al-Quds Day crowds. Trump will know war is over when he feels it in his bones. And disgracefully, the White House uses memes and video game clips while Gold Star daughter calls it really gross stuff. Preliminary assessments suggest US likely struck school killing scores, including children. Official response, we golf videos calling strikes hole in one. 13 Americans dead. Scores of Iranian children potentially killed. And the White House thinks war memes are appropriate. Alison Spann is right. It is really G-Ross stuff. It is disrespectful. It is grotesque. And it shows fundamental disconnect between people making propaganda and people paying the cost of war. This has been The Royal Truth. I'll see you next time.